So I've been watching over the last 3 or 4 years a lot of videos on a lot of YouTube channels, videos from people from various ages, especially the kids who are having their amazing experience of being born into this time where ascension and spiritual awakening has been present in their lives from the get-go, on a scale it wasn't 40 years ago. When we were born 40, 50 years ago, there was only a few of us who were aware of the fact that this was available to us as a process. And quite clearly, as we know, the vibration of the entire planet is shifting as we move into a different relationship with the photon belt, and the physicality and the embodiment of life in the human vehicle, in the human form, is quite literally changing from the ground up. So yeah, wonderful, amazing children and amazing teenagers who are now becoming amazing women and guys in their mid-20s, and they're absolutely absorbing and assimilating a lot of information, and they're doing it a lot quicker. There's a lot more information for people available out there, and there are levels of enlightenment and channeling and knowledge and new knowledge and the understanding of old knowledge in a way which is unprecedented, and it's a deep joy. There is a deep feeling within me, just having finished watching yet another short video by a young person, during which they were talking about the spiritual world and different dimensions and the interpretation of all that they were coming to. There's a deep feeling in me that I want to say to younger people who are on this path: don't forget that you get the opportunity to how can I put this? Don't forget to take the opportunity to question every single step that you take, what you are doing with this knowledge, understanding, sense of connection that you have, first and foremost with yourself, and then as a continuation of that expansion into the universe and into the world that you influence. What are you doing with that? Because understanding that we are part of God and God's infinite, beautiful divinity and source and the creation itself, understanding that we are a part of that and therefore we carry that within us, is a wonderful thing. But then further on from that, what are you actually going to do with it? Are you going to, quite simply, just make YouTube videos about it because you want to share the information with other people? Or are you going to take that beauty and actually put it into the world that you encounter when you open the door to your house? Because right now, when we open the door to our houses, we can walk down to the bottom of our streets and encounter pain and suffering and social unrest and anxiety and depression in people which are quite literally within our reach. So although I have the deepest amount of respect for people, anybody who stands in their power and stands in their grace and shares wholeheartedly and open-heartedly all their learning that they're going through, there are many ways to teach. And perhaps one of the ways that it's always worth remembering to teach is by example, not necessarily by being able to spout. That sounds very disrespectful. By being able to speak about the way that things are from a spiritual perspective. The way that things are from a spiritual perspective as a theory is one level. And then once I'm just suggesting, really, really heavily suggesting, that each and every one of you who is going through a spiritual, taking steps up the spiritual ladder towards enlightenment, once you get to enlightenment, what are you going to do then? As you moving towards being an enlightened human being, what are you going to do with that? Is the only route to teach other people by making YouTube videos and becoming a teacher, a spiritual teacher? Or are you actually going to take that knowledge, that power, that beauty, that love, that understanding that there is no separation, and start taking that out into your community, into your neighbourhood? Have a think about that. And I'm saying this with a lot of love. Bye.